Good morning everyone, welcome back to a new video. One Man Pan Man. We've got unboxing and boxing up to do today. I have new mic, so I swapped it out for the Hollyland Lark. We're going to use one of the DJI mini mics and see how we get on with that. So let's hook you up and get on with the video. So we have the 3 sales in today's video. My videos lack a little bit in time, so these are from the back end of April. But we have this real nice in the volcanic orange, the bread tin or terrine. You're making meatloaves, you can obviously do your breads in it. Real nice condition. They come up quite often. They fetch fairly decent money, but they're always in good condition, which is nice. Whether that's just they're not barely used or whatever the reason. But I'll add the prices sold for, if I remember to do, on while the video is running through. That's something else I can start adding to the videos. So we'll go with the double box, as always. Save any sort of packaging. So just a quick first layer of protection, if you like, and then we'll go on to double box it. The tins, I've only ever seen them, the orange, brown ones when they're obviously dated a little bit older, I'd say. I've seen blue, black, and possibly green, but other than that, I've not seen any of the, especially the newer colours. I know the newer terrines are stoneware. I don't think there is a cast iron one. I would have to check on the website or have a good look on eBay to see if there's a newer version. But I'm pretty certain the newer ones are stoneware. But really nice, they always sell. They don't tend to hang around either. They tend to sell fairly quick. This may have gone within the first month. But it's a nice little sale. There is a square one I picked up not too long ago as well, which is a little harder to find. But again, for making bread in, it's the perfect little item really. So I've got obviously the double boxing done. Loads of padding around the sides, on the bottom, on the top. That way this parcel is bomb-proof virtually. Especially when it's going through the couriers. We don't want any damage. I've still got 100% record so far of not having anything come back to me because of damage, so the way obviously works, which is good. So that one's done and that'll be ready to go. This second item we've got is this really nice green. I'm not sure if it's a kiwi green or not, but real nice green. The 2.1 litre carbon steel stovetop kettles. So this is the traditional looking one. This is what the vast majority of the ones look like. The wear inside is a little bit of wear, but perfectly usable. If the customer gets it and wants to put some more lime scale in, then that's fair enough. But that's as clean as I can get it without spending too much time on it. So the lid comes off. We wrap the lid separate so it can't chip or get damaged. Then goes upside down inside the kettle. That way there's no damage to the knob as well. We'll go around it a few times with the foam, the Jiffy foam, and that should do. So this one's sold for $65, which is quite a average fair price. They tend to hover around that. If they're a little bit better condition inside and there's no chips on the outside, no staining from lime scale, then you can probably ask a little bit more. But 65 is fairly average for these. I maybe could have asked a little bit more just because of the colour, but I like to get things moving, not quickly, but to the point where there's a fairly decent turnaround. So a bit of polystyrene for the top, bottom and sides, just to protect the spout. We don't want the little whistle part of the kettle to be breaking off from like a side impact, so we'll take care of that bit especially. But the kettles now, you can virtually get any colour and you can virtually get any size. They go from the 2.1, which is this kettle, is the largest, and it goes all the way down to 0.7, and obviously different variants and shapes in between, but they're always good to pick up. They're always cheap to pick up. I think people want to see the lime scale, they tend to just presume they're not going to be worth as much, or someone might not be as interested, but they're fairly easy to clean up. The outsides are just as easy to clean as what the casseroles are. But this will be going with every, I think since I was last in the news for how their delivery service is going, they've picked it up again. I've had no issues with every now for a while. Never so much an issue with losing, but more delays. But they've been getting there real quick lately, so I'll carry on using them for a little while. They're more expensive, like this set of pans here. This will be going with DPD, just much easier, much more reliable. So this is a set of 3, like the second generation saucepans, and they're in like a white, off-cream white colour. I'm not sure what the exact colour is. I know there's obviously the white cream, there's a meringue and ivory. Whether they're all the same or whether they're 2 and 2, I'm not sure. I still haven't found a Le Creuset colour chart. I've been to a few outlets and asked, and they don't have them either. So it's a case of just putting them against what I already have and seeing if there's a difference, and sort of guessing a little bit, and then just hoping the person buys it sees it as the colour they want it in. But these are more a pastel rather than the shine, so I don't know what that means in terms of colour, or if it's a special, if it's limited or whatever, but they've gone. There was a size 20, size 18 and size 18. The usual set would obviously be the 20, 18 and 16, but 16 is obviously missing from this one. But the 20 is good enough for doing whatever you want, and then obviously the 218, which is obviously slightly bigger than what a 16 is. So in the way people cook today, obviously everyone likes a bigger pan, just to obviously accommodate with what you're actually cooking. But these were sold without a stand. I have got several others with a stand, and the person that bought this offered money on the ones with the stands, but the offer wasn't high enough really for what I was willing to let them go. So they ended up buying these ones for $240 I think, without a stand, which is about right for what I'd normally sell them for. Obviously condition depends on the condition, so $240. Obviously if they're a bit more worn, I won't sell them with a stand because it's not as desirable. There's no point in going through the extra hassle of making a stand for a set when they're not as a good a condition. If they're real nice, I won't sell them without a stand. They'll always be pictured with one. If someone who's buying asks if they can do without a stand, that's fair enough, but the price won't change an awful lot. Obviously the Creuset is expensive, and some of the things I sell can be on the higher end, but they're still considerably cheaper than buying them from the Creuset. That's why I'm happy to accept offers on everything I sell, but as long as people always remember, because of the brand, how good they are, nobody will be getting a ridiculous amount of money off, because I'm in it to run a business, not a charity. So $240 is perfectly acceptable price to pay for the 3 pans, considering if they wanted to buy just the one from the Creuset, you're looking at around $220, $250 per pan. So to be a third of the price for 3, that's a good deal in my eyes. I've been doing it for a while now, and they always seem to sell, so I have no reason to change my pricing. But these will be double boxed again, so in a fairly decent box to start with. A lot of padding on the inside just so nothing can actually jingle in general. And then obviously we get a slightly bigger box that we can use as like the safety net. So polystyrene, obviously a really good void filler. If you see it anywhere, obviously just grab it out of a skip, or if you've bought something that's come padded with polystyrene, then make use of it. If it's a bigger chunkier stuff and it's not flat sheets, you can always break it up and use it as void fill. This like air bubble wrapping, whatever, is also another good thing that comes with fragile items. It just stops any impact from any side, and on the bottom, this way it gets there in one piece. So like I mentioned earlier, this will go with DPD, just because if anything happens, their compensation is higher. They then tend to deliver a bit quicker. and they're incredibly easy to get hold of customer service. So phoning DPD, there's no issue at all, and they tend to solve things quite easily as well. But since Go Outdoors and DPD have stopped their relationship, it's just a bit more of a pain finding a drop-off point from where I am. A lot of the post office have DPD, but most post office can't accommodate the amount of parcels I'll take them, plus everyone else's, and then obviously all the other couriers and the post office Royal Mail itself will jump on those tiny sites, so it's not worth it. But loads of padding, nice bit of padding on top just to finish, and that is that one wrapped up and ready to go. So like I say, just 3 sales, but it brings in good money. The sales tend to always be consistent, so I don't tend to feel like there's any burnout or catching up. It's just a nice steady flow of constant sales. So that is it for this packing video. So that is the parcels boxed up, ready to go to the shop. I'm going to do these in a separate video. I think we'll get them unboxed and then we'll get them back down there for cleaning. So thank you for watching. Hello to all the new subscribers that are coming in. Hope you're enjoying the content, and I'll get these unboxed now. We'll make a new video for those. I'll see you in that video.